What is up, everybody? So today I'll be going over the winning creative formats that you must run today if you're trying to scale your e-commerce or dropshipping store. So if you don't know me, I'm Theo, and I've scaled numerous stores from 0 to 7 figures a year. And I scaled one store from 0 to 6.2 mil rev in just a little bit over a year, and another store from 0 to 1.5 mil within the same time frame. And today I'll be going over purely image static formats that you should be running today. And all these image static formats that I will be showing are ones that I personally ran for my own stores, and these are all creative formats that I found from looking at numerous different ad accounts through different industries. So they definitely work. I'll be going over this first format, which is this "I'm sorry, our mistake, we should have warned you." Basically the "I'm sorry, we are sorry" format. And the reason why this really works is because it's a really good pattern disrupting creative. Like, you know, it just says like, "We are so sorry," and if you actually read the copy, it's just basically saying we're sorry for being too good, pretty much. And you can see a bunch of different brands like SoFi, Primal Queen, Thesis, a bunch of other brands I found. They're all running this type of creative format, like Rosabella, Hike Footwear, "We Owe Your Fee an Apology." You can pretty much just mix it up into different formats or ideas like emails or just this type of message with your product on it, your notes, whatever it is. But you can see that when a concept is really trendy, almost everyone will seem to adopt it. You can see here, like even Volkswagen or Virgin or Mac, whatever it may be, like everyone has ran this format. And this is a really strong format around like Q4, around like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like the holidays. Like this format was extremely trendy, and you know, it's really obvious from seeing numerous different brands, whether you're in like, you know, SoFi and like finances, or like, you know, Volkswagen for cars or Mac for beauty. It doesn't matter what it is. You can see that this format was absolutely killer. Now, I think one of the strongest formats that you can do is called an IG native format. And you probably heard about native ads, and essentially what native ads are is they're just ads that look native to the platform. And what people don't really think about is a lot of these native ads that you see other gurus and YouTubers talk about, those are more Facebook native ads. And I'll be going over it later in this video as well. But these are what I would call Instagram native ads. And so you can see here, "Can everyday dose help my gut?" And you can see it's like looks like an influencer, and it's just answering questions. This looks like straight up like a IG story. This looks like an IG post, you know, like an AMA, like, you know, style format. And all these different type of creatives are what I would call IG native, because they look really native to Instagram, and these will definitely be a good scroll stopper, look native, so that people aren't like immediately like, you know, swiping away because they think they just saw an ad. And some of these IG natives don't even have the product in the photo, but you definitely can include the product in the photo if you want. And what's really cool about this is that for this concept, you know, for every concept that I'm showing you, you can pretty much, based on the copy, tailor it to whatever stage of market awareness that you're trying to target. Like, for example, like, are you doing a 50% off Black Friday cyber sale? Like, that's obviously super bottom of funnel, most aware, product aware. And you can see here, like, some of these are more top of funnel, more solution aware, product aware, whatever it may be. So whatever concept that I show you guys, you can usually tailor it towards whatever stage of market awareness that you're trying to target for your own brand. Now, the next format is, I would say this is also very IG native. So if you have a product that kind of performs better on Instagram rather than Facebook, then I would recommend making creatives like this. So these are what I would call like the iPhone notes creative. So you can see a bunch of different brands, a bunch of different formats, and you can pretty much do whatever copy that fits your brand. And another one would be iMessage. So, you know, you guys can kind of get the point here. You can make it super bottom of the funnel, most aware. You can make it kind of funny, like a skit. "Oh my God, did you get injectables? How do I stop stressing without weed or CBD? Thesis clarity is the closest thing I found." So you can see here, like, very, very strong creative that you can do. And just to kind of add on to it is just some more IG native concepts, like the iPhone calling, like the call screen, like hang up, pick up. Like you can really do the airdrop, phone call, airdrop. These two concepts, whether it's the Notes app or the phone calling, airdrop, iMessage, chat, all these are very Instagram native. And these are the type of ads that, like I said, you want to make if you run if your brand typically performs better on Instagram instead of Facebook. Now, the next batch of creatives that I would recommend you guys try to make is these fake Reddit kind of posts. So you can see some of these don't even really like, look super like Reddit. This one's a little bit better, but you can see these are like sort of Reddit testimonials. Like it shows like ask Reddit, how do I stop? And it's a really good scroll stopper as well. And on the same tune of Reddit, you can do Google, like a Google search, and it just says that your product is insane. You can do the Google search on images, like best drinks for sleep struggles, and it shows Rise mushroom, or best nutritious lunchbox snack for kids. It shows grins. You can also do a Twitter screenshot of a Twitter post. You can make it like an actual person, or you can do it your actual brand. You can do even these ChatGPTs, visualize a ring that doesn't wear out ever, and it just generates an image of your product. So these are more on the same tune of Instagram, IG native creatives. The next format that I would recommend trying is this billboard type of creative, where it just shows your product on a billboard, or headline like have you pooped again, GLP-1 got you wired, calm your hair shredding on GLP-1, or every creative can be really tailored. You can make it like a Black Friday discount retargeting type of creative. You can make it more like problemware. So the next format, this one is a really strong format. So it looks like a fake sensitive content. If you guys browse Instagram and you get hit with some weird sensitive content post, you have to click the see more button, or whatever it may be, to reveal what the actual image is like. And you can see here it's like a blurry image, and it says you're not a bad mom, nutritional deficiencies, blah blah blah, sensitive content, viewers may learn how people they're not bad dogs, sensitive content, insane deal, claim offer below, warning, major savings detected, unlock the madness, biggest sale of the year. So I personally ran this type of creative during Black Friday, Cyber Monday last year, which is why I put this here for you guys, and this really converted. So this was a really good concept that worked particularly well for me and my brands. Now, the next format that I really want to recommend you guys try is this fake news article type of headline. If you actually are, vouched for by these publications, you can do it. If not, you can just put wellness, the gut health foundation associated with healthy aging. This one is by Hike Footwear. It just straight up says Hike Footwear, and then it just looks like a article, Hydrogen versus Liquid IV, just us versus them. News, why top performers are calling this their biggest productivity edge instead. This still looks like it says news, and it just has a very strong headline about the product. News, entrepreneurs around the world are upgrading their moldy coffee for the secret productivity unlock. And you can see news today, 52-year-old woman finally beats 13 years of hair loss after switching to this Arctic hair care. Are you aware how Americans over 55, this type of news article headline is very strong. It can target unaware or problemware especially well. So this is a very good top of funnel type of creative that you guys definitely should be testing. I personally had a lot of success with this format as well as, so this is the one that you probably see a bunch of people on YouTube, a bunch of gurus are talking about how native ads can really work. Essentially what it is they're talking about Facebook native ads, image ads, and essentially you will pair up these native looking ads, as in these are typically images that you can imagine what people are posting on their Facebook feed, or in a Facebook group or whatnot. Just they just look like casual, just like a selfie. It can show a doctor, someone's doing a doctor visit, or my wife told me she was gonna leave me if I didn't fix my balding. So all these images are typically, it can show some type of problem, it can show whatever you're trying to convey, and typically you're trying to pair this up with a very long form primary ad copy. You're gonna see people write 1,000 words, 2,000 words for their primary ad copy, and these native image ads are very good at converting problem aware and unaware customers. And the only thing that you should realize about this is you should be realistically only making this type of creative if your ICP, browsing Facebook in particular, and are actually this is where they lie. Because if you have a product, you're targeting Zoomers, or super young people that are mostly on Instagram, then this type of creative format might not even work for you. So that's why you really have to put some thought on what format that you're gonna test, because not every format is gonna work for your product and your ICP. So you have to think about what type of content does your ICP like to digest? You know, are they more on Facebook? Are they more on Instagram? And if they happen to be on both, then for sure you can definitely make both Facebook native and Instagram native ads. But these native image ads, like I said, they really work. I personally run them myself, and you just have to make really good primary ad copy, and you have to make an image that actually stops their scroll, and you got to really make sure the first line of your, you know, very long form like primary ad copy really hooks them, because your copy is going to be essentially the hook. And this type of creative typically works better if you send people to a pre-sale page, similar with this news headline. These type of creatives, or Facebook native creatives, I would say, typically work better if you send them to a advertorial or listicle, where you're going to educate them a lot more on the product. And the next type is, I would say, you know, these are still very native image ads. I would call it the sticky note type of creative. Finally, something that erases all wrinkles. There's just something about the sticky note that, you know, it's a good pattern disruptor, and it looks pretty native as well. You can also do this receipts type of creative. This really works well if comparing your product to, you know, other solutions, or just like how much money you'll save in general by using the product. So I like to use those. And one of the best type of image statics that you have to be making, if you're not already, is an us versus them type of image static. So you can do something like this, like regular coffee versus space goods, how much time you're losing by not using the product, before and afters. So this us versus them, or before and after, is an image static format that you must try. Like, if you're not doing this, then you're leaving a lot of money at the table. This is going to be very powerful if your customers are more product aware or solution aware. Just these before and after type of creatives really convert, and these work well on both Instagram and Facebook, and they definitely convert extremely well. Now, a really basic type of image static is, I guess, these more benefit driven image statics. And what essentially it is it'll just show your product. For example, like Primal Queen, skincare product, Zest, wake up like you slept 8 hours. And essentially you're just going to show the product, and you're just going to straight up convey the benefits with a strong headline. Like, you know, start the night with a smark, and just pure fun, zero regrets, all the benefits, and stress relief in 20 minutes. These are very, I guess you can call it like product aware, problem aware even, but these type of creatives definitely do work. These are typically better like middle funnel, bottom funnel type of creatives, but I typically like to always make them just because they round out the ad account very well in the terms of middle funnel and more bottom funnel, product aware or solution aware. You can get really creative with the headlines, like saying better focus in 60 minutes or your money back, or our return policy is simple, like acne will never return. You know, you can offer some guarantees. And yeah, so, you know, if you're not making this type of format, not testing this type of format, I would highly recommend. Now, the next type is essentially testimonial type of creatives, or more bottom of funnel, retargeting type of creatives, like product aware, most aware. And these type of creatives are, you know, they're meant for retargeting, because they're typically going to have a testimonial, as you can see here, or show how strong of a deal you're having. And it's just going to straight up say, you know, whatever deal you're having, or sale, or whatever testimonial you want to put. And these are, you know, very strong, just, you know, bottom funnel retargeting creatives. And I just want to show these because these are creatives you should definitely make as well, because not every customer is going to get converted off your, you know, unaware, problem aware creatives. Sometimes they need to see these type of creatives to really get them over the finish line. Some people just need to see a testimonial, like more social proof. They just need more urgency, or they just need a strong deal to finally push through. So the next type of image format that I want to show you guys is these, I guess you can call it like visual metaphors. So you can see here, dentists don't want you to know the secret. It shows like this no BS knobs toothpaste, and you can see here these, it's in the mouth. You know, these workers are just cleaning the mouth. This is like for hair, lawnmower for hair. And these visual metaphors, personally, I've made something just like this, and it definitely converts. You don't see too many of these, but I would say it's worth testing out if it works for your product, and they can definitely still convert. And the final one, I just didn't want to put a bunch of these type of creatives, but they're essentially memes, and I would highly recommend you guys try testing some meme creatives, because they can really work for your product. And obviously it depends on your ICP as well. Like if you're targeting like men 55 plus, then, you know, maybe you don't want to do like a meme image static. But anyways, so I just went over pretty much all of these various image static formats that you guys should be trying in your ad accounts. As you can see, all these image static formats that I showed you are formats that multiple different brands are all running. And I think one of the best things you can do is browse the Facebook ads library, browse through different brands, through different industry, through different niches. And if you see a format that multiple brands are doing, like if you see Volkswagen, Mac, Primal Queen, like through different industries, all testing the same format, it probably means that it's a trending format that actually converts. And I would definitely try to hop on these formats or creative trends because they can definitely be a quick win for your ad account. Not to say that you shouldn't be coming up with your own formats or own creative concept, but definitely swiping from proven winning creative formats is definitely the way to go. If you guys want to see a video where I cover winning video creative formats, then let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to make that one as well. Anyways, peace.